Hello, my name is Carlos Vasquez. I'm from Reston, Virginia, and I originally got familiar with PrimeDriven back in the day when it was primarily like MR2 tuning shop, and you guys had parts on your website. I started following you guys from there and watching all the builds you guys had for MR2s. And soon after, saw that you guys started giving away cars. In particular, back then it was mostly MR2s. So I started entering all the way back. I think I entered on the first giveaway, and I just kept entering. And every car I saw, I always like, okay, that I liked, I was entered every time. So it goes to show if you're consistent, you can win a car. So the reason for entering for the ISF is ISF has always been one of those dream cars. I remember when they originally came out, and I would go to Cars and Coffee, and I remember there was this one guy with a blue one that would show up, and I got to see it up close. And at the time, I had just graduated high school, and I didn't have the money for an ISF. And ironically, the prices of the ISF haven't budged much since then. The value of that car just continues to go up. So when I saw an ISF, I said, "Oh man, I have to enter." I could win it. And I could have a car that I've always wanted to drive, always wanted to experience. And a car like a Lexus ISF, it's one of those cars that you're not worried about, the engine blowing up on you. With so many sports cars, you have so many issues sometimes. But with an ISF, those things you can drive them forever and always enjoy them. And you can tune them and do a lot of cool things to them. So I'm really excited to, get it home and experience that car and say I own an ISF. So that's a big dream come true. So growing up, I think as far as back as I can remember, I was been into cars. My parents always told me that ever since I was a little kid, all I did was talk about cars. And as I got older, that passion continued to grow. Also, video games played a big role growing up. I used to play Need for Speed Most Wanted, Midnight Club 3, Dub Edition. All those games hold a special place in my heart. I would spend hours just customizing cars. Any car, I would just customize and do it in so many versions. So that continued to grow my passion. And as I got older and I could finally start purchasing my own cars, buying cars, I remember my first car was a Volkswagen Golf Mark IV. That was always a car. I was always gravitated more towards Volkswagen and Audi. Then shortly after, I had an A4 Ultra Sport. And then I started heading down the route with JDM cars. I've owned an S2000 in the past, Lexus IS 300, couple of Subaru SDIs. So I've had my fair share of cars. I had fun. Unfortunately, it came to a point where I couldn't have a fun car, and then I wanted to purchase a home, so I had to sell my last fun car. So being able to have a fun car again, I didn't think that was gonna happen anytime soon. So it's a blessing. I'm really happy. So I can't wait, to drive the ISF. So when I received the text message, I was at work, and I'll be completely honest, I didn't believe it. I was so, caught off guard. I saw the message of what I had purchased, and you showed me like all the stuff that I had purchased and all the info, and I said, and at that point I realized, okay, this is real. And I just kept saying, I can't believe this, I can't believe it. And you said, yeah, man, you won. And I'll be honest with you, I could not believe that I won an ISF. Like, I always entered cars that I like, and sometimes it's entering back to back because you guys have so many different cars and so many cool cars that I love. I'm really into a wide range of cars. So I remember entering the ISF, and I said, "Oh man, this thing is dope." Especially the RCF that you guys had before. That RCF was super cool. So I entered a bunch for that one. But I saw you guys posting the ISF, and I was like, wow, that's always been a dream car of mine. So when I saw that, I just couldn't believe it. I was like, I could not believe that I got chosen for the ISF. So I'm very excited. So when I get the ISF, I think my first victory lap would be, taking my girl for a ride and just getting her to experience that V8 on that car, and then taking it to Cars and Coffee. As far as modding it, I have a huge laundry list of mods for an ISF. I've built this car so many times, like gone through different companies, R Racing for in particular, and seeing what they offer for that car. And I've always like created like a virtual cart for it, and like, okay, I want this, and this for it. So I got a lot of plans for the ISF. I'm sure it's gonna start out as a daily, and then with the mods I want to do, I think it won't be so dailyable after a while. So we'll see. But yeah, I'm excited to drive it and experience that car. And we'll see. That car is one of those dream cars I've always wanted. I always wanted an ISF. So I'm just very excited to see, and like there's quite a lot of tuning that can be done with these cars. You can make them into a cruiser, or you can make them into a really serious track car. So I'm excited. I'm really excited, and I would like to do a little bit of both. I would like to be able to daily it and also be able to take it to track. And these cars can take some abuse, so I'm really excited to experience an ISF. I would say PrimeDriven is very much real. And to the people who might be getting discouraged or think that they're not going to get chosen, I think consistency is key. I've been entering for quite a few years now, and I've never given up. I've always kept entering, especially the cars that I really like. You guys have so many cool cars and such a wide range of different cars, that it makes it very fun to enter. Just the possibilities of owning so many different cars that you guys offer. So I would tell people, don't get discouraged. Your time will come. So keep entering. Your time will come, and it's definitely worth it when you receive that car and it gets shipped to you, and you take it out for the first drive. So don't give up. And people who are beginning to enter, I say be consistent, and keep entering, especially with so many cool cars that PrimeDriven offers. I think there's always a car for someone. And if you're consistent and you keep entering in what you like, one day your dreams will come true. I just want to say thank you to PrimeDriven for making dreams come true. With how cars are becoming so expensive, especially cars like special as ISF, a lot of times these cars are unattainable. And just the fact that, I did a quick entry, and a car is mine now, and one of the dream cars that I've always wanted to own, and they're becoming so rare and hard to find, that I have the opportunity to own a car that I've always wanted. I want to say thank you to PrimeDriven. You guys are making dreams come true for a lot of people, and especially at a time right now where if you're into the car hobby, it's getting even harder and harder to get into it. And now that with every price of everything going up, like this is truly a blessing. So I want to say thank you for making my dreams come true, and I appreciate you guys and what you guys are doing. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. And even though I'm a winner, if I see a cool car, I'll keep entering. So thank you.